أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ثم الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. So we are still under نيابة الفتحة نيابة الفتحة عن الكسرة. We are still under that and we are looking at the ilal, the factors that cause a word not to take tanween. Because why are we looking at this? We are looking at this because words that do not take tanween and so do not take kasra as the alama of jar, these are the words that take fatha. Words like ahmada, words like masajida, words like tawahin, words like that. And so we need to know them. We need to know these meters. And as we said in the previous lesson, we said that you don't need to know all the words that do not take tanween. You don't need to go searching for words that do not take tanween. You need to know what are the factors that causes a word not to take tanween. When you know these factors, then you see a word and you realize that the factor is present. Of course, you can easily apply it. You don't just give the word tanween, and you don't give it kasra. So he said, we read in the previous lesson where he said, Al-ilalul mani'atu min as-sarfi tis'atun, that the factors that causes a word not to undergo sarf, not to take tanween, they are 9. Majmu'atun fi qawli sha'ir. These 9 are gathered into the statement of the poet, the verse of a poem that a poet wrote. The verse says, اجمع وزن عادلا أنث بمعرفة ركب وزد أجمة فالوصف قد كمل. Okay, and then we explain the first word, which is ijma, what he intended with it. He intended صيغة منتهى الجموع. That is the highest form of plural. Okay, let's go on with the second one, which is wazin. So we are looking at the zin in this lesson. So he says, Thaniyan, zin. The second we are to understand is zin. And we would do well to take these things one after the other, unless when we realize that it doesn't take much and we can do it very easily. And then we will make the attempt of doing it like that. If not, we will take them in pieces, at least for this side, so that we understand them very well. Okay. So he says, Qalu al-muradu, they said that al-muradu biha waznul fi'l. What they intended with the zin is that waznul fi'l. Okay. فَإِذَا جَاءَ الْإِسْمُ, if a noun, you should see a noun, ala waznil fi'li, carrying the meter of a verb, فَإِنَّهُ يَكُونُ مَمْنُوعًا مِنَ الصَّرْفِ, then this particular noun becomes ممنوع من الصرف. That is لا ينصرف. It becomes غير المنصرف. That غير المنصرف is what we call ممنوع من الصرف. Okay, so when you see a noun that has taken the formula of a verb, then this noun cannot undergo sarf. It cannot take tanween. It says سواء أكان هذا الاسم علما أم صفة, whether this noun is a proper noun or an adjective. That does not care. If it's a noun, it's a noun. وسواء أكان الفعل ماضيا أم مضارعا أم أمرا, whether the verb this now is looking like is past tense or present tense or command. So if a noun looks like a past tense, it looks like a present tense, or it looks like a command verb, this now cannot take tanween. فَإِنَّهُ مَمْنُوعٌ مِنَ الصَّرْفِ, because it is ممنوع من الصرف. It is prohibited from taking tanween. سَمَّيْنَا رَجُلًا يَزِيد, we named a person, a man, we named him Yazid. There are people who are called Yazid. He says, Mamnu'un min as-sarf. He's asking, is this Yazid Mamnu' min as-sarf? Naam, of course, yes. وَمَا الْمَانِعُ لَهُ مِنَ الصَّرْفِ. And what is preventing it from taking tanween? وزن الفعل, because this name Yazid is on the meter of a verb. لأن يزيد, because the Yazid الاسم Yazid of the noun يساوي matches يزيد الفعل. It matches Yazid, which is a verb. تقول هذا يزيد وينقص. You say this increases and decreases. يزيد here, increases, is a verb. وينقص is also a verb. So if you say al-iman yazid wa yanqus, faith increases and decreases. The Yazid is a verb, but somebody has been named Yazid. So the person's name is on the meter of a verb. In that case, there is no way you see Yazidan or Yazidun or Yazidin. That will not happen. Why? Because al-kalimatu aw al-ismu ala wazn al-fi'l. Okay. Somebody too is called Yashkuru. It is somebody's name. Ismu rajulin. It's a name of a man. It is also mamnu'un min as-sarf. It is also prohibited from taking tanween. And al-mani'u lahu min as-sarf, that which preventing it from taking the tanween, is alamiyya, al-alamiyya. That is its nature of being a proper noun. Wa wazn al-fi'l, and being on the meter of a verb. إذا كان علما, if it is a proper noun. So if it is a proper noun, the fact that it is a proper noun and also it is on the meter of the verb prevents us from taking tanween. So yashkuru, you can't call the person yashkurun or yashkurin or yashkuran. It won't happen. Okay. Ahmadu. Ahmadu is also name among the names of even the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's part of his names. Mamnu'un min as-sarf. It is also mamnu' min as-sarf. That is, it also does not take tanween. You can't see Ahmadun or Ahmadin or Ahmadan. Mal mani'u min as-sarf. What is preventing it from taking the tanween? Al-alamiyya. It being an alam. That is a proper noun. Wa waznul fi'l, and also being on the meter of a verb. Afdalu is also the same. It's also somebody's name. So you say marartu bi rajulin afdala min fulan. Okay, afdalu here is best or better, describing something. This is better than that, or that man is better than that. So if you say marartu bi rajulin, I pass by a man afdala min fulanin, he is better than this person. Here, afdala is an adjective. Mamnu'un min as-sarf. It has been prohibited from taking the tanween. وَمَا الْمَانِعُ لَهُ. What is preventing it from taking the tanween? Here, because it came an adjective, we say it is the wasfiyya, al-wasafiyya. It being an adjective. لِأَنَّهُ اسم تفضيل, because it's a name of preference. Name of preference is mutafdil. We mean something like better, taller, shorter. All those names shows what is more than what. That is what we call ismu tafdil. Wa waznul fi'l, and also being on the meter of a verb. So afdal, first of all, what is preventing it from taking tanween? There are two, because it's an adjective and also because it's on the meter of a verb. That is why we say al-wasafiyatu wa waznul fi'l. The wasafiyya is a supporting factor, just like the alamiyya. It's a supporting factor of the waznul fi'l. لأن أفضل على وزن, because the word أفضل على وزن أكرم is just the same as, it's on the same meter as أكرم. And أكرم فعل ماضي is a past tense. So the noun has taken the form of a past tense. In that case, it can't take tanween. إذن القاعدة, then the ruling. كل اسم جاء على وزن فعل. Any noun that comes on the meter of a verb, فهو ممنوع من الصرف. In that case, it is prohibited from taking tanween. سواء كان هذا الاسم علما, whether this noun is a proper noun, مثل like أحمد, أو صفة or an adjective, مثل أفضل. Example like أفضل. Okay. أحمد يمكن أن نحولها أحمد يمكن أن نحولها إلى صفة. We can convert أحمد to adjective. فنقول, so we say مررت برجل أحمد من فلان عند النعم. I passed by a man أحمد من فلان, and أحمد here means, he explains it. He says أحمد هنا اسم تفضيل, is a name of preference. يعني أكثر حمدا, the one who says, who praises God most, or who is most grateful. So مررت برجل أحمد من فلان, I passed by a man who is more thankful than somebody. In the ni'am, fulan is somebody. In the ni'am, that is when he is blessed. Okay. So he says, Samaita ibnak, you name your son. Yafdulu ibn fulanin, you name your son Yafdulu, the son of somebody. Yafdulu here, ممنوع من الصرف. هنا ممنوع من الصرف. He is asking, is it ممنوع من الصرف? And لماذا? And why? So he says للعالمية, because it's a proper noun ووزن الفعل, and because it is on the meter of a verb. Because يفضل is just the same meter as يأكل. So يفضل, if you name your son يفضل, you've given him a name that is on the meter of a verb. سميت ابنك, you name your son أسكت. فناديته أسكت بن محمد, you name your son أسكت, and your name is Muhammad, so it comes Uskut, the son of Muhammad. Malmani lahu min as-sarf. What prevents this from being taken tanween? This Uskut here, what prevents it from being Uskutun or Uskutin or Uskutan? It says al-alamiyatu, the fact that it's a proper noun, wa waznul fi'l, and because it is on the meter of a verb. Ayyu fi'lin, which verb? And it says fi'lu amrin. Fi'lul amri, it is on the meter of a command or imperative verb. Okay. إذن, then, كل ما كان على وزن فعل فهو ممنوع من الصرف. Any word that is on the meter of a verb, it is prohibited from taking tanween. إن كان علما, if it is a proper noun, فللعلمية ووزن الفعل, then it is not taking the tanween because of its alamiyya, because of it being a proper noun and also being on the meter of a verb. وإن كان وصفا, and if it is an adjective, فللوصفية ووزن الفعل. If it is an adjective, then it being a sifa, its nature of being an adjective, that is a فللوصفية ووزن الفعل, and also being on the meter of a verb. فلا بد فيه من علتين, and so these particular ones have two problems. They have two factors. وزن الفعل مع الوصفية أو العلمية, being on the meter of a verb and also being a descriptive noun or also being a proper noun. So it's either being a proper noun and being on the meter of a verb, or being an adjective and being on the meter of a verb. فإن كان اسما جامدا فإنه ينصرف. Isman jamid is a static noun, a noun that does not change, is fixed. It's not this kind of noun that looks like these things. It's a noun on its own. It doesn't look like a verb. In that case, yansarif, it undergoes sarf. It takes the tanween. Okay, I hope this is clear at this point. We will also stop this here, and then we continue with the thalisan from the next lesson, inshallah. Anything that is unclear, you do well to ask. You do well to ask. There is Jamidan, okay. There is Jamidan. In Arabia, we have nouns that are derived and some are not derived. The one that are derived, we call them asma'a mushtaqqa. Asma'a mushtaqqa. That is, if it's one, ismun mushtaqun, a derived noun. And we have a noun that is not derived, ismun jamidun. As some say Allah is ismun jamidun. Some also say it is mushtaq. The argument is there. So Jamid Bimana, a name that is not derived from anything. It is just as it is. Okay. So there is this basic qaida, even though the book has given us its qaida. They say الشيء إذا أشبه الشيء أخذ حكمه. If something resembles another, it takes its judgment. إذا أشبه الاسم الفعل, if a noun looks like a verb, أخذ حكمه, it takes its judgment. وحكمه, and its judgment is that منع من الصرف, being prevented from taking tanween. That is لا يجر بالكسرة ولا ينون. It does not, we don't make it majrur by giving it kasra, and also we don't give it double vowel. Let me just read the simple qaida alone. الشيء إذا أشبه الشيء أخذ حكمه. إذا أشبه الاسم الفعل أخذ حكمه. وحكمه منع من الصرف، أي لا يجر بالكسرة ولا ينون. Okay, may Allah grant us beneficial knowledge. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا رب العالمين. يا رب موسى وحارون وإيسى ومحمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم، أكرمنا بقوة الحفظ والفهم والمعرفة والحكمة. آمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب